So this has officially blown my mind, which made this happen. Thank you. Oh, my dear YouTube gods. You work in very mysterious ways.
Magic.
So with such a huge reach, I have had so many suggestions come through as to what could be causing my troubled hair. So I researched into some of these suggestions and I think I may have found the cause and a possible solution. So I'm going to be spilling the tea today. I am almost certain that there will be things in this video that you have not heard of, so you may want to be taking notes. First of all, a huge welcome to all of the new viewers who found my channel through my hair story video, and thank you so much to those of you who have newly subscribed. Welcome!
Welcome to our home.
The response has been overwhelming. There were thousands of comments and suggestions that I simply could not keep track of them all. I also received over 100 private messages just on Instagram alone from people reaching out and sharing their hair stories and similar hair type struggles and advice on how to deal with these pesky hair issues. I'm still getting people telling me to use less heat, don't wash my hair every day, try a leave-in conditioner, try an oil treatment. I don't know, maybe these people just didn't watch the whole video, but I did mention that I have tried all of these things. I wash my hair once every 3 to 4 days. I don't wash my hair every day. I think it's quite drying for your hair. These things are common knowledge for anyone interested in hair care. We know that heat is bad. We know to use leave-ins. So please, for all of our sanity, let's stop telling each other the obvious. Aside from that, I have been listening to you guys. I have been taking notes on many of your suggestions. So thank you to all of you who reached out, whatever advice you had to give. It shows that you care. Now, it was impossible for me to try out all of the methods and products I was recommended, but there were a few things that really shocked me, and I'm about to share these with you. Just before I start, I need to say that there are so many sweeping statements about hair care floating around YouTube and through word of mouth. So I really tried to research into these methods to make sure I'm giving you legitimate information. If that is something that you appreciate, please thumbs up the video to let me know. I only talk briefly about each topic, so I've linked all of the research sources below so you can look into it further if you choose to. So, on to the first discovery. Coconut oil does not work on all hair types. You would not believe how many people commented suggesting I try coconut oil. I feel like this is the most popular oil associated with hair care, so yes, I have been using it for years. I never really noticed a radical difference, so it actually made a lot of sense to hear some of you suggest that coconut oil does not actually benefit all hair types. I looked into this a little further and found that for those with coarse, dry, or damaged hair like myself, coconut oil can cause it to become more brittle due to the proteins within it. However, for hair lacking in protein, it can work wonders. So different types of oil for different types of hair. I was also really happy to hear many of you talk about humectants, which I have stumbled upon when researching the curly girl method. So humectants like aloe or honey can actually help your hair absorb even more moisture. So they are perfect to use before deep conditioners and oil treatments to achieve maximum results. Humectants can also be a hindrance though. If it's humid or damp, any humectants in your hair products will make your hair swell to catch more moisture, and this is why your hair goes frizzy in certain weather conditions. Anti-humectant products and serums are designed to help with this. I had quite a few people suggest that I take a blood test to see if I have any vitamin deficiencies. I completely agree, so I've just signed up to a new doctor and I'm looking to get a blood test soon, so the results on that are to come. Okay, here's something I'd never heard of before. Cutting your hair according to the moon. Quite a few of you actually mentioned this, and it's definitely a more holistic approach that not everyone will agree upon, but it might be interesting for some of you to try. There are different charts depending on your hair needs, but it seems that the idea is to cut your hair during a full moon. I'll leave an article down below for any of you who are interested to read more about that. Now, these next 3 suggestions really stood out to me as something that may be contributing to my hair issues. Someone mentioned that hair has a pH balance, which I never actually considered before. So upon further research, I found that normal hair should have a pH of 4.5 to 5.5 on the scale from 0, highly acidic, to 14, highly alkali. Now, I know this sounds like gibberish. I was never good at chemistry at school, but this does make sense to me, so stay with me. So judging by the fact that 7 is pH neutral, this means that normal healthy hair is slightly more acidic. Interesting, right? So from what I've read, alkali opens the hair cuticle and acidity closes it. I also read that curly hair has a naturally more open cuticle, so those with curly hair need to find higher acidity products to keep their pH down to 4.5 to 5.5, which is the normal healthy hair pH level. This leads perfectly on to the next culprit, which is so simple yet so easily overlooked, and that is the type of water we use to wash our hair with. Water has a pH level of 7, which is pH neutral, and it occurred to me that for the past 3 years at uni, I have had hard water. You can tell this by simply looking at your kettle. If you get residue like this, then you have hard water, my friend. And guess what I discovered? Hard water is highly alkaline. This all seems to be adding up now. So all this research seems to be pointing towards the conclusion that my hair pH balance is too high. So then I learned that apple cider vinegar has a pH level of 3. So an apple cider vinegar rinse looks like it would be the perfect thing to try, at least in my case. And this is a very popular method in the hair community. So make sure you subscribe because I will be testing this method properly very soon. Sometimes YouTube does hide videos from your homepage, even those that you're subscribed to. So if you want, you can click the bell to make sure you don't miss out. To combat hard water, a lot of people have been telling me about shower head water filters. And though this sounds like a genius invention, it's not an option for my shower, but someone did suggest you can just rinse your hair with filtered water after washes. So I'd say it's definitely worth a try for those of us with hard water. This next thing, guys, was really eye-opening to find out. You may remember that in my hair story, I mentioned that I started drinking soy milk in order to cut back on dairy, and I started drinking it consistently around 3 years ago. Then someone sent me this. If this is true, it would make a lot of sense, so I looked into it straight away. What I found was that there seems to be 2 arguments. Some say it can cause hair loss, while some say it can prevent hair loss. Confusing, right? But according to this article, there seems to be more research to show that soy benefits your hair. There's no way of knowing this for sure, but it definitely sounds like the amount of soy could be the problem. And before we start jumping to conclusions, this doesn't mean that any soy is bad for you. In fact, it's very nutritious and it's a great substitute for meat and dairy. And it's also a very popular ingredient in Japanese food. Dr. Larry Shapiro says, "The problem is that a small amount of soy that is found in the Japanese diet, such as tofu, may have a minimal effect. But in the US diet, for example, there is soy milk, soy hot dogs, and a multitude of soy meats that have replaced red meat." He goes on to say that drinking 8 to 12 ounces of soy milk could be having a hormonal effect on the human body. But how much was I consuming? Well, I was mainly using it in my tea every day as a substitute for cow's milk. In true English fashion, I'd say I drink around 3 to 4 cups of tea a day, which would mean this much. And often I'd eat it with breakfast or in cooking, so add a little more. So this is roughly how much soy milk I've been drinking daily for the past 3 years. That's 9 ounces, which according to Dr. Larry is just about enough to possibly have a hormonal effect on my body, which may or may not be affecting my hair follicles. The research I found on soy milk is contradicting to say the least, but it seems to come down to moderation. So with all this new information I learned, I low-key feel like I've become a hair scientist. Here are a few things I am going to change. I've stopped using coconut oil and I'm currently using avocado oil, and I'm also looking for other alternatives. I'm taking a break from soy milk. Although I do believe it is very good for you, I think it's safe to say I was consuming a lot of it. So if anybody has any good alternatives that taste good in tea, do let me know. It's the only thing I really use milk for. And no, almond milk does not taste good in tea, and neither does rice milk. I actually want to give the filtered water rinse a try after each wash, so I'm going to go buy a Brita filter and let you know the results. I'm currently looking for a conditioner that does not contain silicone. I didn't talk about this much today, but according to the curly girl method, it's something that we want to avoid. I've started collecting data on my hair to really figure out what's working and what's not. This means keeping track of my hair washes, products I'm using, treatments, and styling. Guys, I really want to fix my hair, and I think I'm getting closer to solving the issue, and by sharing what I discover about my own hair, I'm hoping that it can help you with yours. That is why I'm making these videos. I noticed multiple comments criticizing me for caring too much about my hair. Listen, everyone is interested in different things. I just happen to be really passionate about hair. I don't want anyone to feel guilty for caring about their hair in this way. Your hair is a part of your body. It can indicate your ethnicity, your culture, your age, your personal style, your health. And the great part is, if you don't want it to be any of these things, you can just cut it all off. It doesn't have to have a meaning. But for most people, and especially women, hair is so personal. And the appearance and the health of our hair can really affect the way we feel about ourselves. So we should care for our hair, and don't let anyone make you feel guilty for how you feel about your hair and what you do to it, because it belongs to you. So please do subscribe. We are all learning together. Let's share our discoveries in the comments. Maybe you can help somebody out. If you want to support me in any way, you can actually shop on Amazon through my referral link in the description. If you buy anything through my link, I will earn around 4% commission from the item. It's only a little, but it goes towards the bills and it shows me that you care. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.